Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about support and resistance and supply and demands, the differences and all that, okay? Because we've seen that is this topic that, a lot of people are not clear about. They don't know the clear differences and they're not sure what to trade, what strategy, how to use it and all that. So um, I hope to clarify it a little bit in this video and explain to you the differences and what our view is on it. So let us start with support and resistance. So support and resistance, the usual people that trade that stuff is basically they see support as like the floor and they see resistance basically as the roof, and they usually trade like rejections or breakouts or break and retest and all that stuff. So that really depends on the person what they're looking for, but um, to show you some examples, like people they would see this like as support, and they would trade like rejections, or they would just wait for like a break and then a retest and then continuation, or they would look for just a breakout or all that stuff. So it's really hard to tell, but basically what they look for is they look for these areas basically, and they create zones, and they draw it differently every single time because it's hard, it's very subjective. So they would usually like draw something like this, and they would just trade like, I don't know how they would trade it, like rejection or break reset, whatever. But basically this would be the way they see things. Okay, they would see this as a house, and they would see this as a floor, and they would see this as a ceiling, and then they would do whatever they want to do, this or just breakouts. That really depends on how they do things, but this is basically how they look at things. And they would also like make some levels in between. They would look at these levels as well, they got touched here, got touched here, so they would say this is a key level. And then they would basically wait for price to come back here, and then I don't know what they would do, to be honest. But yeah, this is how they look at things basically, and it's very hard to systemize things, because we know trading is all about systemization and having a clear edge basically in the market, a clear strategy with you can basically rinse and repeat and always do the same thing over and over. With support and resistance, really tough, because it's just, the risk to rewards first of all are not that great, and second of all, it's hard to be consistent as well, because you're drawing the zones always differently. It's very subjective, and everything that is subjective in the market, it's very hard to be profitable in the long term, because in the end we're trading against robots, we're trading against algorithms of the big banks and institutions. So if you're subjective, and it's just almost impossible to survive. So anyways, people, for example, this would be support level, and some would draw it like this. It really depends how they would draw things. It's very hard, and they would look at retest and all that stuff, and then they would get small reaction here, and then they would probably extend this as well. They say, okay, it broke out, so probably they would see some rejection here, they would short, nothing happens, then they see a breakout, and then they say, okay, we're gonna long over here. Usually what they're gonna do, they're gonna long over here, and then target probably like next highs or whatever, and then price just melts, and it's just complete non-understanding of how the market works, and just looking at these levels and just making stuff up. Okay, so now supply and demand basically are areas, are swing points, highs and lows, where heavy buying and selling happens. And you can clearly see this. Okay, you can see that at this area right here, a lot of selling happens. You can see that at this area right here, a lot of selling happens. Okay, over here, you can see that here at this area, a lot of selling happens. So basically, what we do is we just extend these areas. Okay, we draw the zone, we extend these areas, wait for price to come back, and then we sell more. Okay, same thing over here, price did not come back. Same thing over here, price came back. Okay, so literally in a week and a half, on even on the 4 hour time frame, which is already not a super small time frame, but it's a pretty solid time frame. It's not too big, it's not too small, so it's our favorite time frame, to be honest. So um, here you have a zone, strong selling, price came back, sold more, and it just keeps going. It's already over 400 pips. Um, and same thing happened at this level over here. So since sold here, it's over 300 pips. Um, so that is mainly because we know where we are in the monthly and the weekly, but it doesn't always happen with 300-400 pips. I wish. And then with same thing for buy zones, you have some zones over here, some buy zones over here. Um, what else do we have? We have a smaller buy zone up here. Let me just show you over here. We have a smaller buy zone. Okay, also a nice reaction to it. Um, so yeah, guys, it couldn't really be any simpler. We just need to wait for strong areas where price, where a lot of buying or selling happens, as you can see right here. Yes, you have to wait sometimes pretty long time, but it's definitely worth it because these are trades, guys, over 300 pips. And if you have a proper entry and you know how to add positions along the way, then you can literally make 30, 40, 50%, whatever you want, basically, on moves like this. So you don't really need many trades, maybe like one or two solid trades a month that you added positions to it, um, the proper way, then you can definitely make all the money you want in the world, um, even if you're just trading one pair, which is obviously what we recommend. So that's basically it, guys. I don't want to talk about it too long. You can see that support and resistance versus levels that get touched a lot, and supply and demand is basically just fresh levels that hasn't been touched before, where a lot of buying or a lot of selling happened, and we just wait for price to magically come back sell more, or buy more. This is basically it, guys. So yeah, really recommend trading supply and demand more. Also, yeah, just check out our YouTube channel. It's full with supply and demand videos and how we do stuff, how we view things. So it clarifies a lot of things for you. So yeah, guys, hope you liked this video. If you did, then would appreciate the like. If you have any questions or whatever, just let us know in the comments down below, as we'll get back to you as soon as possible and answer any questions that you may have. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe because we're uploading new videos every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday usually. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, if you have more questions about how we trade and if you want to enroll in our trading program, then the link is to our website is in the description. You can check that out. So yeah, guys, hope you liked it and see you in the next one.